In the heart of Europe, a shadow war has been exposed. A trusted aide unmasked as a Chinese spy. Secret documents stolen, military shipments tracked, dissidents betrayed. Now, a German courtroom delivers its verdict, and the question echoes across Europe. How deep does Beijing's web of espionage really go? A former aide to a German far-right lawmaker has been sentenced to almost 5 years in prison for spying on behalf of China, highlighting growing concerns over Beijing's intelligence operations in Europe. On September 30th, the higher regional court in Dresden found Jian Guo guilty of acting as an agent for Chinese intelligence while working for Maximilian Krah, a former member of the European Parliament and now a Bundestag lawmaker representing the Alternative for Deutschland or AfD. Guo, a German national, had been employed in Krah's Brussels office between 2019 and 2024. During this time, he gathered sensitive information on the European Parliament, the AfD, and military shipments passing through Germany. Evidence presented at the trial revealed that he had been involved in espionage for over 2 decades, targeting Chinese dissidents across Europe and passing intelligence to Beijing.
Finally, together with his co-defendant Ms. X, he collected information about transports and flights departing from Halle Leipzig Airport, in particular those involving military transports, and he also collected and passed on information about individuals working in the arms industry. The court sentenced the defendant G to 4 years and 9 months imprisonment for espionage in a particularly serious case. The defendant X was sentenced to 1 year and 9 months imprisonment, which was suspended for 3 years because her contribution to the crime was significantly less, because she had been active for a shorter period of time, and because she had ultimately been led into this activity by the main defendant.
A female accomplice, identified only as Yaki X due to privacy rules, was also implicated in the operation. She worked at a logistics company at Leipzig-Halle Airport, passing on information about cargo and passengers, including military vehicles, troops, and drones. The court sentenced her to a suspended prison term of 1 year and 9 months. The case has raised alarm across Europe, with officials warning that Chinese intelligence efforts have become increasingly sophisticated and widespread. German authorities emphasized that Guo's activities had put not only political figures, but also Chinese dissidents at physical risk, creating consequences for their families in China. Krah told the court that he had employed Guo based on his language skills and business experience, and insisted he had no knowledge of any espionage. He added that he had increased security in his office following Guo's arrest.
Today's guilty verdict regarding my former employee doesn't surprise me. What matters to me now, above all, is to gain clarity about the espionage activities of which I became a victim.
The timing of Guo's arrest also intersected with Krah's political trajectory. At the time, he was campaigning as the AfD's top candidate for the European Parliament, raising questions about the pro-China and pro-Russia leanings of certain senior party members. Prosecutors outlined a complex web of espionage that spanned multiple years and involved high-level political figures and sensitive military data. Guo had obtained more than 500 documents, including classified material, leveraging his parliamentary position to gain access to information on European affairs and the internal workings of the AfD.
Even though the State Security Senate of Dresden's higher regional court fell short of the federal prosecutor's office's request in today's hearing, today's ruling nevertheless reflects that this has been the most serious case of Chinese espionage in Germany to date. The court found that the defendant had been working for the Chinese Secret Service in the Federal Republic of Germany for almost 20 years and had become extensively involved in Chinese intelligence efforts here in Germany.
The court also found that Guo had persuaded Yaki X to collect intelligence on military shipments departing Leipzig-Halle Airport. According to prosecutors, this information concerned troop movements, military hardware, drones and arms deliveries, including shipments to Israel. These actions were seen as particularly severe due to both their duration and the sensitivity of the information collected. The case has highlighted broader European concerns about Chinese espionage. European officials warn that Beijing has increasingly targeted the continent, exploiting access to both political institutions and industrial logistics networks. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, elected in May after a campaign critical of China, is reportedly preparing for his inaugural visit to Beijing later this year to address trade tensions and security concerns. At the time of the investigation, the Chinese embassy in Germany declined to comment. Meanwhile, Krah has maintained that he had no knowledge of Guo's activities. In a post on X, he dismissed accusations of wrongdoing as politically motivated.
The accusations are absurd, constructed, and purely politically motivated.
The espionage charges against Guo also surfaced amid broader tensions between China and Europe. Since US tariffs restricted access to the American market, China has been increasing exports to Europe, raising concerns about industrial pressure and dependence. Beijing's material support for Russia in the Ukraine conflict has further strained relations as European leaders seek a more assertive stance against Chinese influence. The sentencing of Guo has not only exposed vulnerabilities within European institutions, but also sparked a wider political debate in Germany. The German parliament recently lifted Krah's immunity in connection with a separate investigation into alleged bribery and money laundering linked to payments from China during his tenure as a European Parliament member. Krah has denied any wrongdoing in these matters. With Guo now serving a prison sentence of 4 years and 9 months, European authorities hope to send a strong signal regarding the consequences of espionage. Yet, the case also serves as a stark reminder of the challenges Europe faces in protecting both democratic institutions and vulnerable communities from foreign intelligence operations. In sum, the sentencing of Jian Guo represents a significant chapter in the ongoing story of Chinese intelligence activities in Europe, illustrating both the risks posed by foreign operatives and the importance of judicial accountability. As investigations continue, Germany and Europe face critical questions about espionage, national security, and the resilience of political institutions in an increasingly contested global environment.